Well, we're absolutely blessed. I'm going to say blessed to have the new captain of the White Ferns, our national captain, and absolute pleasure to have back on the Cricketers Network, Amelia Kerr. Melie, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, it's been a busy little schedule. I mean, it's about to get busy with the series against South Africa and finished Zimbabwe in the mount now. So yeah, looking forward to getting stuck into South Africa.
Yeah, so you are coming to us from the Mount. Some travel problems today because Fakari White Island decided to kick off.
Yes, but we were flying from Dunedin to Auckland and then driving anyway.
Oh, I see.
Um, Dunedin flight delayed. Then the drive, obviously, it was longer than an international flying day today.
Yeah, sometimes getting back from Dunedin does feel like you've been overseas.
Yeah.
Well, look, the series is wrapped up against Zimbabwe, and it was pretty comprehensive victories all around. Was it kind of a nice way to enter your stint as captain?
Yeah, I think so. I guess like pleasing to win 6-0, and I guess on rankings we were expected to win all six games, but I think the way we won, in terms of how much we won by and the way we played, and the likes of Izzy Gaze, the series she had was outstanding. So it was a nice way, I guess, to start where there's so much, I guess, good stuff happening that you can just encourage that people are confident, people are feeling good. So I guess in terms of challenges moving forward, when we come up against South Africa, there's going to be probably a few more meetings. There's going to be more media around as well, with it being double headers and I guess televised properly. So yeah, it's going to be exciting to have them and a side that has made the last few World Cup finals as well.
Yeah, we'll get on to South Africa in a minute, but I wanted to talk about a bit more about Zimbabwe because I had Anna Peterson, or Wolfie, as you might know her, on the podcast this week, and she said that there's when you play a side like that that is ranked, a bit below us, there is a good amount of camaraderie and I guess a little bit of help and coaching that goes on. Was there a bit of that with the Ferns in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, I think it was nice to have, I guess, like a side we haven't played, so you build a connection with a new country. But yeah, we had them in the changing room after the last ODI in Dunedin and chatted with a few of the players, and they, um, as well as us asking questions, they also, I guess, asked a lot of questions about cricket and what they can do to get better, different things like that. But I thought there was still a lot of really positive signs from their side. I thought they were outstanding in the field, the way their ground fielding especially, and then I thought their seamers swung the ball, moved the ball, and their spinners, if they hold the stumps and bowl accurately, it it's a good ball's a good ball to any player in the world. So I think um, I know the results show a different story, but I think there's still value for us and for them, and being challenged in different ways.
Cool. Uh, do you think it was fair to send them to Dunedin at the end of summer? I mean, that was probably a bit of a climate shock to them.
Yeah, I think if there's one way to give us an advantage is let's go to Dunedin. Let's hope we put on a cold day and make fielding a whole lot harder for them. Thankfully, I think a couple of the days we played it was warm, so they were right. But they did say a couple of their training days they couldn't believe how cold it was.
Yeah, it's when you see touring teams there. Sometimes you see like the West Indies teams go to Dunedin and the players are wearing two beanies. That's that they're really feeling it then.
Yeah, and thermals.
Yeah. So first hit out as captain. I know you've been acting captain before, but first proper series as captain. Did you learn a little bit about what you're like as a captain in the series?
Yeah, I think for me leading into the series, I guess thought a lot about I guess the type of leader or person I am within the group, and that also how I've been over the last however many years doesn't necessarily change who I am just because I am captain. So still wanting to have the same relationships, build the same confidence in players. Um, but I guess before the series, I'd done quite a bit of thinking on like how I want to lead moving forward, and it's I think something that over time will keep evolving and developing, and you're never going to get everything right straight away or ever in your career. But I think that's the great thing about sport is one, I don't think you can ever really be satisfied because there's always things to work on, whether that's within your game as a captain. As a teammate. So for me, it's yeah, trying to be really authentic to myself and who I am, but still being really open minded to keep learning and getting better.
Yeah, what about just the nuts and bolts of captaincy? You know, literally balancing those bowlers. I've heard captains say before that, you know, they're just constantly doing mental arithmetic all the time. Does that, I mean, do you enjoy that, or does that get a bit taxing?
I really enjoy thinking about the game. I love the tactical side of the game. So for me, it's all, I think, even when I'm not captain and like as a kid when I was fielding as a kid, I'd think about who would I bowl in this situation, things like that. So I've always loved thinking of the game, and then you get the chance after games to be able to debrief with the coaches, like what would have you done here, and you learn from that as well. And I think the thing is with cricket is actually when you're making those decisions like that, there is no right or wrong, and you've just got to have, I guess, a strong reason as to why you went with that decision. It's not a maths equation where there's only one answer. So I think you kind of learn the more you do it. And I've had experience with Wellington, being able to captain them, but I love the thinking side of the game. And I think it can make a huge difference in, I guess, how many runs the opposition score.
Yeah, of course. A couple of debutantes in this series as well. Nenzi and Kaylee come into the side from the Northern Brave. You know, some really strong performances first up from them. What was it like having them in the team for the first time?
Yeah, they were awesome. They were just themselves, coming into this environment, and I think the success they've both had in domestic cricket. They just come off the HBJ final, having won that, and they both bring their a point of difference, but a very different in their own right. Kaylee, obviously, I think she's probably one of, if not the quickest bowler in New Zealand at the moment in the women's game, and she's just got this great energy. She got along with everyone. So it's exciting for her. And it's also an exciting prospect for New Zealand cricket to have someone with raw pace. And, she hasn't even been in the system yet. With the White Ferns, so where she could grow her game with, having the access to our S&C and physio and all of that, where you get stronger, fitter, faster. And then Nancy, I played a lot of age group cricket against Nancy growing up, and she just always seemed to love the game and love playing cricket, and that's the same now. And in these ODIs, especially just having an little energizer bunny in the field every ball. I think her bowling has been outstanding. She's extremely accurate, but also she's no mug with the bat either. She's got a great technique, and I think she's a smart cricketer, but most of all, she just loves it and wants to learn, and she asks questions all the time. And so, yeah, they've both been great additions, both on and off the field.
Yeah, I talked to Susie. She was on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I was asking who probably was the fastest bowler in New Zealand women's game, and I thought it might still be Leah, but Leah announced her retirement from the longer form of the women's game. Well, there is a longer form still, but you guys don't get to play that, unfortunately. But yeah, from one day cricket, that's a big loss, isn't it?
Yeah, Leah's obviously well, she's New Zealand's most experienced pace bowler, and she has been around a long time with the White Ferns, one of our most experienced players. She's got this real mongrel, competitive, I guess, attitude to wanting to get in the fight. She, I think, is the type of bowler where you give her the ball and when a game's close or something needs to happen and she wants to be in that moment and she wants to compete and just get in the fight, which I think has probably helped with the longevity she's had of her career as a pace bowler. Like she's had injuries over her career as most athletes do, but I think because of her mongrel and competitiveness and that fight and resilience she has, she can keep coming back and turning up and putting out performances. And yeah, to do that as a pace bowler is pretty special. So it is a huge loss for New Zealand cricket in terms of what she's given to the game from when she started, where it was, not professional, then semi-professional, and then a full-time job. So it's, yeah, like I know that she can look back on her career and be extremely proud of what she's achieved in the 50 over format. And yeah, I know she still has a lot she wants to give to the T20 format, and she'll get that opportunity soon here against South Africa.
Yeah, absolutely. Having a player like that in your side, it's you've always got someone when you've got a pace bowler like that. You've always got someone to chuck the ball to when you need a wicket, right? And that's there's
Mm.
kind of no substitute for that.
Yeah, it's this is just the balance of having a balance of a bowling attack, and when you've got wicket takers and you want something to happen, it's like who do you throw the ball to? And I know at the World Cup in India, she was our bowler for that, and she had a really successful 50 over World Cup. She picked up key wickets, so and I know that too, moving forward, that we're going to have a lot of options that can fill that role as well, in their own right. I think there's a lot of depth growing in New Zealand cricket, and you look at like the pace bowlers we have to choose from in the White Ferns at New Zealand cricket now. You've got there's a lot there. That all have their own skill and point of difference, which is exciting to see where I guess the bowling attack of the White Ferns could go.
Yeah. So who else do you think? I mean, well, it's hard to point out one or two, but if you can, who else sort of really stood up in this series against Zimbabwe?
Yeah, I think there's like the I guess with the pace bowlers there's a little bit of rotation going on, so you don't always necessarily get to play every game. But I think if you look at the pace bowlers coming through in the White Ferns setup, you've got Bree Illing who um point of difference with her left arm, swings it and has a bit of extra pace, and you've
Yeah,
got Kaylee Knight.
how how handy is that having a left armour? Like they're
Yeah,
gold
so we've
dust,
got
aren't they?
yeah, not many of them, so it's just hard. People don't practice it as much. And then you've got Kaylee Knight with extra pace. Rocco's got a bit of extra pace as well and great skills. Then you got Jess Kerr who swings the ball.
Yeah.
Molly who's got a bit of extra pace and a great slower ball. And then you've got Hannah Rowe who hasn't been selected but also has her height and bounce and swings the ball away. So that's about six or seven
Yeah.
in New Zealand coming
Rosemary
through.
as well. Rosemary, who,
Yeah.
yeah, Susie actually thought Rosemary might be up there in the pace stakes as well. She's,
Yes, she
and
actually is.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and then we've obviously got Soph as well, who's still going in T20 cricket.
yeah. How good's that? So yeah, let's get move on to the South Africa series now, and some big names returning. Right? How good is it to have both Susie and Soph coming back into the team?
Yeah, it's New Zealand's two most experienced cricketers coming back into the group, and two of New Zealand's best ever. So alongside Debbie Hockley, so that's pretty cool when you get to add those two people back into the group with one just all their experience, but and what they bring off the field, but also everything they bring on the field as well, and they're both all rounders for us. And um, yeah, it's also going to be nice for me too as captain in this series. I guess having that experience around if needed to lean on. They're good mates as well, so it's nice to have them come back in the group, and it's probably might feel a little bit different for them. We've had quite a young group together, but hopefully they can just keep enjoying their cricket and know that they still have so much to give to the White Ferns, and yeah, they're so important for this team.
Oh, absolutely. What do you think of the double header format that you've got, where you play the games generally before? Is it always before the men?
Think so.
Yeah, yeah. Because in the Super Smash, sometimes they swap it over, don't they? But
Mm.
yeah. Do you like that format? Does that work well?
Yeah, I do. I think it works really well in Super Smash. I think it's been awesome for the game. So I like it. I think also the fact that we're both playing South Africa as well, it becomes kind of can become like one team rather than the men's team and the women's team. And I think it's also great for fan engagement. Um, you head to Bay Oval in the afternoon and watch us play, then watch the men play, and you see it around the world. Like the 100 do it really well. So if anything, I only think it helps grow the game. Well, there's always time for standalone games where it's just the men or just the women's team playing, and that happens a lot. But when there's the opportunity for double headers, I don't see why not.
Yeah, true. And of course, they're not all double headers. The women's tour is actually longer than the men's, so you're going to be playing some of your cricket in mid-April. Is that right?
Yes, we have after the T20s, we've got three ODIs straight after this series. So I think one in Christchurch and then two in Wellington. I think the last one's the 4th of April.
Oh, okay, not quite mid-April.
So
Okay.
we're not extending out too much.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, great. Uh, what South Africa would be, probably one of the most improved sides in the world, as you say. They've been to a number of finals. I mean, most recently in a final that you beat them in. And I mean, they're such a dynamic team. Is that how you would describe them as well?
Yeah, I think. Um, yeah, well, I think I don't even know how many World Cups there have been in the last 4 or 5 years, but I think they've probably made at least three or four finals in the last 5 years. So they seem to just step up at world tournaments, and I guess it's knowing how to win games. And they've kind of like a lot of these World Cups, they've beat Australia and kind of been that side to knock out Australia, which um, I think sometimes teams fear the teams that feel superior, whereas when you have the belief that it's just a team you're playing, you can beat anyone on your day. I think that's what they do really well, and they've got world class players who um, and now they've got more world class players who are stepping up and performing and also playing all around the world. I think they're a well balanced side. Um, they've got top order bats. They've got seam. They've got a very good left arm spinner, and then they've got some dangerous all rounders like Nadine de Klerk. So yeah, they're an exciting team with a lot of talent. But I also think I think it's going to be a great series where we can really take them on. I think the cricket this group is playing at the moment, people are coming into their own and just building that belief and confidence within the White Ferns environment to express yourself. Um, we are the T20 World Cup champions as well. So knowing that when we play our best cricket, we will win games and beat any team on our day. So I think that's exciting for us and the depth we're building here at the White Ferns. I think like our batting order's the longest it's probably been in a long time. We've got,
Yeah.
as I said, different types of seamers, a leg spinner, off spinner. So it's exciting to see, I think, where we can go as well. And I think, yeah, two quality sides taking each other on.
Yeah. I know I won't keep you too much longer, but how much are your eyes on the World Cup, which is in England in the middle of the year? So it's not that far away, really, when you think, what, 2, 3 months away. How much do you just take it game by game, series by series, and how much are you thinking about that World Cup?
Yeah, I think for me, I just take it game by game and series by series. I guess in terms of that forward planning stuff, I know like Ben will be planning and he's very, he does a lot of analysis and we'll be looking forward to what we have. But I do think what we have coming up is our prep and it's so important leading into this World Cup. But each game you play for New Zealand is its own individual game. So taking that, just playing in the moment and playing that game rather than thinking about what's to come is, I think, the most important. You got to get the best out of yourself on that particular day. So there's no point looking forward to June. So yeah, for me, it's just turning up and wanting to perform and be the best I can be for each day, and same for the team to turn up, um, prepare the same, give yourself the best opportunity to have the best day. And we all know if cricket, sometimes that comes off, sometimes it doesn't. But if we can be really consistent in how we want to turn up, hopefully our method will help us come off more often than not.
Yeah, cricket is unpredictable as a volcano off the east coast of New Zealand, really, isn't it?
It is.
Melie, we wish you all the best in this series against South Africa, and it's been awesome news and wonderful to watch you captain your first games for your country, and you seem to be jumping on it with great pride. So all the best for this series.
Thanks, Ben.